Hello, this is Marvelyn Brown with In a Word Business Services, and today I want to show you the second part of the previous email that I did on automation. So this is the second part of the series where we actually set up a email or a lead generation form using the email autoresponder from MailChimp as well as Thrive Suite. So just to kind of refresh your memory, here is the form that we set up in the previous video. And let me pull this down some so you can see more of it. So this is the form that we set up. This is the lead generation form that we set up. We also had a lead magnet, which is a workbook. And then I basically showed you how to set up the automation that would enable a visitor to enter their email and their first name, and then they would actually, once they hit submit, their information would be transferred to MailChimp. And then they would also, there's some other actions that happen, forwarding them to a thank you page. So then that thank you page gives them some additional information that they can use to get to their workbook. And so this email, today's email, is going to show you how that works from the MailChimp perspective. So this is what happens in MailChimp. So if you remember in the previous video, I talked about MailChimp being my autoresponder. So what happens with the autoresponder is you set it up, you integrate it with Thrive Suite or Thrive Architect, and then you set it up just like we did in the previous video. And then once that setup has occurred and you've configured everything, you've got it all working, then on the MailChimp side, your new lead is going to get a series of emails. So this is the first email, and then here is the second email that they'll get on the second day. So let me just go back, because we also talked about making sure that when someone signs up as a lead in your business, you want to make sure that they get an immediate response from you. So you want them to get whatever it is that you promised. If you promised a lead magnet, or if you promised to put them on your mailing list, whatever that initial promise was. And as you can see, in this case, I promised a workbook. So I want to make sure that when I set up my automation that I deliver that workbook that I said I was going to deliver, and that the person has an immediate response. And so by forwarding them to that thank you page, that gives them part of that, immediate response. And so the next piece of this is, in addition to being forwarded to the thank you page, they're going to get an immediate email. And that thank you page tells them, check your email for your free resource. So this email is going to go out immediately. So I want to show you how I have set this up. So there's a trigger that happens immediately after a subscribed contact joins my audience. And so this is an immediate response. Once you hit submit on this form, when you hit this get started button, then this is going to trigger this particular email to go out. Now this happens every day, all day, which means, I talked about in the previous video, it can happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. It could happen at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Whenever someone comes to my site and they decide that they want more information, they're going to get that immediate response. So every day, all day. And then I have it filtered by a tag. So when someone is tagged, and I have tags set up in my autoresponder, so I'm going to show you how this is tagged. So when someone is tagged as workbook, and that is one of the tags that I have set up, I have a new member tag. I also have a workbook tag. So this is going to help me to segment my audience. So when someone is tagged as a workbook and they show up in my workbook list, that means that those people have joined based on information that is related to the workbook. So now that I know that, I can send them information that is specific to what they have asked for. There are some other tags that I have on other pages that are more relevant to the content that are on those pages. So once I know where the trends are going, I can use these segments to know that most people that sign up for my list are interested in building an online business. They have downloaded or they want to download the workbook. If someone is interested in blogging, I also have a blogging tag. So I can, gear content toward blogging and just send it out to my blogging list. So anyway, those are the ways that you can use some of the segments and the tags and things like that. Now, once someone has been sent this particular email, I also have it, further defined, and it adds a tag of new member. Now, if the tag is already there, then it's not going to add it. However, I want everyone who is a new member, I want to definitely make sure that I tag those folks as well, because I want to be able to follow up with any new members to see if they need help or if they have questions or whatever. So these are the things, and someone is trying to get in touch with me on my phone. If you keep hearing that dinging, that is what that is. So just hang in there with me. So these are the emails that my new members, when they sign up for the workbook, they're going to get 3 emails. And these are introductory emails that, tell people what I do, how I can help them, and also gives them the information that I promised. So I'm going to look at this first email just to kind of show you what the email looks like. And it's going to take a second to load. My computer is going pretty slow today, so just hang in there with me, and this will appear. And if you're not familiar with MailChimp, this is also going to give you, I'm going to preview this so that, we don't get all these little boxes and things like that that are popping up. So you can actually see what the email looks like. So here is the email. And as you see, I have it fixed so that when someone gives me their first name, and if you remember from the previous video, I had it set up so that people could leave their first name and their email address. The only thing that's required, though, is the email address. But when someone provides their first name, it's going to go right here. And that kind of helps to, make the email message more personal. So I sprinkle in, the first name where, I think it would be appropriate so that the person knows, that I do have their contact information and that they signed up with us. So here's the workbook. And if someone wants to download their workbook, here is a button that enables them to download the workbook. And then there's also a link right here that will enable them to download the workbook. Now, the workbook is affiliated or associated or tied to a video series that I did that walks people through setting up an online business. So they're going to get the workbook, and then they're going to be able to use that workbook to, when they go through the series, they'll be able to follow along and, fill in information into their workbook. And then there's some other, information. Now, this is also, I put this here because I want people to feel free to contact me at any time. So if there are any questions, they can just click on this link and contact me. There are also social media buttons here at the bottom. So that is pretty much it for this welcome email. And it's just basically, welcome to the community. Here's your free workbook. Here are next steps. These are the things that you can do. Download your workbook and get started. So that's pretty much it. And, that is the way that you start building relationships with your audience. And once you start building that relationship with your audience and you deliver value, that is what keeps people coming back for more. So I just wanted to do this really quick video to show you the other end of the automation process. So these emails, and let me see if I can get you back to the workflow. So these emails, I don't have to do anything, and that's what I want to stress as well. I don't have to do anything. I've set these up, and now I just sit back and let them do their magic. So this is the email that goes out immediately after someone subscribes. Then the next day they will get this email, and then the day after that they get a third email. Once that happens, once they've gotten all 3 emails, then they go into my regular email schedule, which is normally about once a week. So they'll go into the normal, updates, and this is my new video post, and here are some deals and promo codes and things like that I normally share with my audience. So that is how that works. You set it up once, and then you automate and you let it work its magic. And if you have things set up on the front end on your site, you are also delivering value on your site. So this is the article. Here is the video that we did, the previous video on automation. And then, here's the rest of the information that I provide in this post. Here is the lead generation form. Here's the rest of the article. And here is a podcast episode. So if it's not convenient for someone to listen, or watch the video or read the entire article, I don't know why, but I just have not been able to talk today. They can listen to the podcast and then, come back and get more information later. But there's lots of information here. It's lots of value. And so that's what you want to be doing for your ideal clients. You want to provide value. And so hopefully this will help you. And, the main thing you want to get from all of this is that you don't have to be stuck in front of your computer, all day long trying to do your sales and marketing functions. There are ways that you can automate your business and have it running on autopilot. So thank you for listening and watching, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.